Welcome to The Happy Home Buyer. Today we are with a special guest, Jordan Nielsen with ListerPros.
ListerPros.
ListerPros, here we go. So if Jordan and I are in a room together, we're probably going to be talking about digital media, and that's the whole point of The Happy Home Buyers, to help you make your home buyers nice and happy. But you can't make them happy if you don't have home buyers, and in today's day and age, that probably means using some digital media to get in front of people. So let's jump right on into it. Platforms, what do you think the top 5 platforms are right now, 2018, kind of at the end? What are the top 5 platforms in your mind?
Well, top 5, you can probably just go to the App Store on Apple to see what are the trending ones. And actually, because I keep an eye on that just to see kind of what's trending. And number 1 right now, can you guess what it is?
Instagram.
YouTube.
YouTube?
See,
really?
Instagram was number 1 for a while, but I mean, they kind of move around. They're like top 10, so YouTube's number 1.
Okay, so we're going to call it YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Snapchat.
Well, those are top platforms.
Top platforms.
But I would put Instagram, Facebook ahead of YouTube when you're looking for certain things, right? That's just trending on. There's a lot of people watching video. Video is very big, as we know, and that's why YouTube's up there.
So what are you using? Like if you had to narrow down to just one app on your phone where you're going to connect with people socially, what's Jordan Nielsen using at the end of 2018?
You probably don't like my answer because I really haven't been on social media too much.
Tell me the answer.
If I was going to choose a platform to use consistently, it would probably be Instagram.
Instagram. See, and that's the same thing for me. I've noticed I've gravitated away from most of the other ones. I use Instagram and Strava doesn't count. It definitely doesn't count. But like if I'm going to go onto one of them and I'm going to see what other people are up to, watch those things, I'm on Instagram.
Yep.
So let's talk some pros and cons real quick and go through kind of the big ones. Let's start with Instagram. If you're on Instagram and you haven't worked out your hashtag strategy, should you even bother being on Instagram right now?
I mean, there's a lot of, it really depends on your audience and who you're trying to reach, right? So if you don't have a big organic or a big following already for people to be able to discover
But you run a big Instagram account, don't you?
Yeah, but I've only posted like 3 times this year.
Yeah, and you probably still get more views than the rest of us put together. But it's funny that you do that. But that's what makes that one unique, and that's why I talk to people, about what they're doing and how they're doing it. And some people they're like ignoring hashtags. And if you're a newer Instagram user, you don't already have tens of thousands of viewers.
Right. It's great. It's a great tool to be discovered.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's really what it's all about. How about stories?
Stories. I like stories. Because I think people can go in there, post their stories from a perspective of not being so ingrained with it, right? So if you do a post, you're always connected, like people like, comment, you've got to stay engaged. You can't really disconnect. That's the big thing that I like about stories. You can put a story out there and somewhat disconnect a little bit, not worried about always having to respond. But from an engagement, I've talked to a lot of people. I'm not huge on viewing stories myself. I'm not that type of person, but I know there's a lot of people that are. Like I talk to employees and different people like, oh man, I've watched stories like all the time. I
used to watch your Snapchat stories all the time. Yeah, You'd be the only guy. I'd be up at the gym in the morning and I'm like, I wonder if anybody else is up, and it's you, like a photo of your on 9 miles already on your bike, and I'm like, this guy never sleeps.
Yeah.
So, but I like stories on Instagram, and this is in my mind why they probably kind of beat out Snapchat for Instagram. Inside Instagram stories, you can put your location, you can put your hashtags, you can do all these things, and then each one of these have some discoverability to them. And so I'll write my stories out, and then I'll have a hashtag strategy and a tagging strategy within the story. And instead of getting to my typical 50 or so organic people that are going to see it, that watch all my stuff, it's going to get to hundreds and hundreds of other people, which that really doesn't happen with Facebook stories. It doesn't happen with Snapchat stories. So I like that particular piece of the story.
Yeah, and I would say Instagram is less diluted than Facebook, right? Facebook, they have so many ads. I think they're being more intentional with Instagram of how they're serving up ads and making it more of a user experience from whoever's on it, right?
Right.
And I think that's why Instagram's picking up so much steam.
No, it makes sense, because our ads, man, we got to be real careful with the ads we put on Instagram too, because you could just throw a bunch of money at ads that don't do nothing on Instagram because you're doing them wrong.
For sure, yeah.
For sure. Okay, how about Facebook? So we're talking Facebook. What's some do's and don'ts right now on Facebook? What are you seeing? Well, before we leave Instagram, IGTV. You using it? You seeing it?
I'm not using it. Not too familiar with it.
Not too familiar with it. So we jumped both feet into IGTV right when it came out. We're like, this is the new thing. It's YouTube for Instagram. It was not YouTube for Instagram, at least not for us, because we're, our full feature stuff is like this, and IGTV is like this. And so you're talking about editing it in a different platform. You're talking about doing all those things. It didn't work for us, but it's still on our radar.
All right.
All right. What about Facebook? What are you seeing on Facebook?
Facebook. I do see that live videos have a tendency to do a little bit better than regular posted videos.
Right. Funny you say that, because live videos are super easy when you're using your phone, right?
Yeah.
You click live, you go to town, but if you want to use all this gear we're going to talk about later, man, can there be some glitches that happen when you're doing live video, right?
Oh, for sure. Oh, man. I know a thing or two about glitches because we run live studios or live shows out of our office. And
it has to all be these redundant backups, because every time I've tried live and try to do it like the fancy professional way, it always ends up messed up, and I end up either deleting it or editing it later.
And it's a process, you know. Like I give a shout out to anybody that's going to try to do it on a professional level, because there are a lot of little things like audio things, and depending on the hardware you're using, that it's a little more it's more sophisticated. You got audio delays. There's a whole.
I know. It's like, how do you figure out that there's an audio delay? My lips are moving, and things aren't talking.
What amount is, right?
Right, exactly. Now, but for our audience, realtors out there, like, they're going to use Facebook Live in a little bit different of a fashion. Do you see some things that, like, people you work with, other people, like, what are you seeing that's intriguing to you? How are they using Facebook Live, you think, that's actually engaging their audience?
Well, I just think it's, you know, not always just going out there as a real estate agent. You have, oh, I'm here at my new listing, or, you know, educate. You know, I'll throw a shout out there to Steve Panate. I think he's doing it right.
Right.
He's educating his audience. He's giving pieces of valuable content. And I think it's very important when you're trying to engage. Unless you're some celebrity and people just want to know what you're up to, then posting those things are good.
Right.
You know?
Let's be honest, though. I don't think any of us are celebrities that people are watching just for the sake of watching us. We need to be bringing value to all of our audiences pretty much all the time, because that's, I mean, that's the whole point of that. And that's something I'll get to later when we're talking about the types of media. But in reality, like we look at everything we do and we try to be entertaining and try to be all these things, but in the end, it's just a commercial. Like, it's just a commercial in the end, because in the end, I'm trying to bring value to my audience. I'm trying to bring value to consumers. In the end, it's a commercial for my company, for our services, and for all these things. And even the best commercials in the world really aren't worth binge watching and doing these things. So we try to keep that in mind over here too, because we look at some of our analytics and we compare it to some of our side projects where we're running vlogs and doing other fun stuff that aren't commercials. And we're like, how come this doesn't perform like that does? It's simple. We're selling a service, and it's always going to have a, you know, a reduced piece there. So what I'm on now that you're saying you don't do a lot on, though, is LinkedIn. I'm loving LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the easiest way to build followers. Do you know the secret to building followers on LinkedIn?
Absolutely not.
I'm going to blow your mind. So
I know. So Microsoft purchased LinkedIn, right? So, and,
I didn't even know that. I'm like,
no,
behind the
that
time.
was a while ago.
Oh, okay. Then it must have been a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, is
sorry,
that new news?
That's old news. No, that's not new news, right? I'm pretty sure Microsoft bought it.
I hope so. Otherwise, we'll edit that out.
Yeah.
But watch here. See how it has all these people. I'm going to show you guys here later. This is the secret to LinkedIn, to get all these new followers. It has all these people that have hundreds of connections with me, and you know how you select them accurately? In full speed.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't know if you, like, I'll show you guys later, but like, you can literally just sit there and click connect, which I'm fine doing that. I let all these people watch my stuff, because now we have 10,000.
Are you posting videos and stuff like that on LinkedIn?
We post all the same stuff on LinkedIn. We post like rate charts, full-length videos, short videos, and LinkedIn is like, it's like the organic monster for us, because like a poor video will still get out to 300 or 400 people, and then one of our little rate charts that Facebook's going to bury so far down that it's going to get like 0 organic traffic. On LinkedIn, the businesses in Arizona, business owners, realtors, everybody, like, it'll get 1,000 views, 2,000 views, 3,000 views organically. Didn't have to pay for it. Didn't have to do any of these things. So that's
are
what
you
I'm
seeing
LinkedIn.
that LinkedIn is kind of taking part of what Facebook used to do or aren't doing now, which is giving you reach to audience?
Well, it is, and I think it's because there's not as many people on LinkedIn that are putting out content, right? So like, it's all an eyeballs play. There's a decent amount of eyeballs on LinkedIn, but there's almost nobody creating content on LinkedIn. And so the few people that are creating content on it are getting some good feedback. It's also a lot different audience I've seen than YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, the trolls aren't really there, and people understand that this is like their business profile, so they're not going to put some completely inappropriate comments down on the comments, because they know their employer's watching. They know that they're being judged at a higher level, I think. So there's less trolling.
Check it out.
Yeah, you got to check that stuff out. So that's Instagram. We've got YouTube, though. What's a YouTube play? YouTube's tough. I've never cracked the YouTube code.
Yeah, YouTube is tough. I mean, it really just depends on your audience. Like, when it comes to real estate agents, it's hard to find, oh, I'm looking for people that want to buy or sell a home. and then demographically, right?
Right.
So it's a hard play for real estate agents. It's a lot easier to do Facebook where you can farm geographically and
Exactly.
reach people in a neighborhood and give specific content to them. But YouTube, yeah, it's tough for.
That's where shows go. That's where vlogs go. That's where these reoccurring things that you can binge watch go on YouTube. And so like we're working on some things and doing some things on YouTube, but it is definitely more of the entertainment factor. You know, it's got that real estate slant, so that we can maybe build brand and then create an audience and then funnel them back around through the back door into the actual sales funnel. But man, YouTube is definitely tough because like we're creating commercials, and you buy commercial space on YouTube, but when you're just putting commercials on YouTube and expecting organic reach, that's not exactly a winning solution.
But I think YouTube is going to be a big player in the future. They're turning it more into like a social media where you can post pictures and then there's likes, comment. It has an element of a social media platform.
Do you watch many videos on YouTube?
I watched several videos on YouTube. Yeah.
Have you ever scrolled down to the comments?
Yeah. Oh, trolls.
I feel like YouTube they have the most advanced trolls on the planet, aside from like Reddit and these other like just strictly for trolls places. But like if you go into the YouTube, every time I get a notification that I have a YouTube comment, I'm like, man, I don't even read it. I just need to take a moment because it's never a nice comment. It's always something like, hey buddy, like your shirt is wrinkled on your left.
You kind of got to have thick skin on YouTube.
Yeah, you definitely have to have thick skin on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, so predictions for 2019. We're wrapping up 2018. Predictions for 2019. What do you think we're going to see more of or less of in 2019? Do you think stories are going to keep being popular? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think so. I think Instagram will continue to rise. I think Facebook is still trying to, I think there's a kind of a disengaged audience on Facebook. I think Facebook's going to tailor it back to more the user experience instead of ads and different things. I think YouTube will continue to be a big platform.
Right.
YouTube's huge.
The dominant, yeah.
But from an audience standpoint, I think it'd still be Instagram and Facebook, biggest ones. Maybe LinkedIn, you gotta play there. So.
Hey, don't tell nobody. I'll be the only. I'm fine if I'm the only one on LinkedIn putting out content. That works perfectly for me. So if you're in real estate, you're in lending, you're doing any of those things, those top 5 are probably going to be what you're working on next year. Learn the ins and outs. If you're on Instagram, learn those hashtags, figure out how to do those tags. Facebook, cross your fingers you get some organic reach, or just pay for it like the rest of us. And YouTube, if you're making a commercial for YouTube, pay for the commercial. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get a lot of traction. And if you're still on Snapchat, find me on Snapchat. Send me some cool snaps. Like I love that people are still on Snapchat. I think the really cool, creative people are still down there on Snapchat. But I am not getting any business from Snapchat. Let me be honest. Like I'm getting 0 business from Snapchat. I'm following unrelated parties on Snapchat. I'm following all sorts of stuff that is not business related on Snapchat. And don't go to LinkedIn except to watch my videos. Part 2 is types of media. So like, I don't know what you're called. I call you the king of media just because I don't know, I called you that when you were on my writing show. When people meet me for the first time like in person, they're like, you're the video guy, which just makes my skin crawl. Because like I don't hate it, but there's so many pieces that go into making media, and I think long form video is like at the top of the hill because a long form video has every other piece of media in it. But what are you thinking for actual media? So types of media, we're talking long form video, short form video, photos, actual text, and then audio. Like audio is a big deal right now. I know you help people put together podcasts. You do all this stuff.
Live shows. Yeah, honestly, it just depends on your audience and what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to build, right? So if you're trying to engage with your audience, a live show is something that can help you engage with that audience. Really, it just depends on your demographic that you're trying to reach and people that you want to engage with.
Yeah, I'm so bad live. That's why this is being recorded. We will edit this later. I don't know why. As soon as it goes live, you're like, hey, this guy sweats. And you're like, oh, but if it's not going live, I'm fine there. So you help people with podcasts. Do you see traction with those things? Like
they're starting to gain more and more popular, and we're actually building or finishing this week a new studio set because we had our beta run. We have our main studio with mics, and it's good for certain things, but we want to make a more lively one where it's just 2 chairs. Anyways, just different sets. So anyways, we're seeing that more people are wanting to run show. I think we've launched 3 new shows over the last 6 months, which is pretty good. We just want to give our customers options. So if you're interested in doing podcasts or whatever and don't want to figure everything out yourself, you can reach out to us.
And that's what a lot of people come to me, they're like, what piece do you use? What this? And we're going to get into gear, but all of these all of these types of media, I feel like they take more work than the average person knows.
Yeah.
Like even a good photo is going to take time to go out there and scout your photo, take your photo, edit your photo. Now you got to write your description, pick out your tags, like do all these fun things. It's like, oh man. And if there's any text in your photo, now you're just not going to get shown to anybody. So yeah, no, definitely keep Jordan in mind if you guys want to cut through all the BS piece and get straight to actually putting those things together.
Well, we're all about delivering value. Like it's not a sales pitch for us, but if you're out there and you want to create something, but you don't know anything about gear, don't want to get into it, we can definitely help. Or if people have questions, I'm always more than happy to.
Let's say though, even if they had all the gear in the world, if you wanted to run a podcast today, man, it's still not that easy.
It is not easy. No.
You gotta have content and people on there. Like
people on there, how to get it onto iTunes podcast. You know, there's a lot of variables and moving pieces. And as real estate agents and professionals, you know, you have other focuses, right? You have clients to meet.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you have other things going on.
So of the types of media, I think photos are the easiest. And what kills me, because like we're capable of creating fancy videos, full features, like the whole bit. But like what kills me is at the end of every week, we'll go back and we'll look at like our analytics on all the pieces that we put out for the week. And sometimes it's that candid photo that we didn't even edit that just destroyed everything else.
Yeah.
It got 2 phone calls and like 16 comments. It got some DMs. It got all these things. We've got 14 minutes into this photo. And meanwhile, some video that we might have umpteen numbers of hours into it, just bombed, just completely bombed. And so there's, different types of media are going to do different things. So if you're a photo person or you just want to keep it simple, like you can make photos like all day long that fit your business. And you don't have to take the time and energy to do all the other pieces.
That's true.
But some of us just like to make videos.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. We want to make that 5-minute video so it can get less interaction than that 20-second photo took us to do.
Yeah.
No. So so back to the whole concept of what we're creating really in the real estate and lending industry is commercials. Have you ever seen a commercial that was 10 minutes long?
No.
So that's what we're always thinking of that. It's like, so when we're creating something, we're like, hey, does this smell like a commercial early on? You know, and a lot of times it does, and so we're like, okay, let's keep it short form. So anything under a minute, something that can go on Instagram. And even still, like sometimes we'll spit out something that's 15 seconds long, and sometimes the team is like, man, that's short. And then I remind them, I'm like, how long is a regular commercial? It's 15 seconds. Like I love the Geico commercials. You see the Geico commercial where they're like, you can't fast forward through this commercial because it's already over. Yeah. It's like my favorite commercial ever. I'm like, I'm gonna steal that, by the way.
But if you look at those commercials, they pack so much.
They pack it in
there.
I know.
And that's the hard part about video, because some people can be like long form and touch on all these different topics. What they do so well is weave so many components of culture and all the messaging and demographic all into one. And it's not easy, but man,
sometimes they're perfect, and sometimes they create a lot of stink. Like we've looked at those commercials, and honestly, I'm fairly creative, but we have no problem emulating. So we look at all the national ad campaigns that are out there, like what did they do, what was their purpose, like what did they do that we can emulate or that we can twist and turn and make work for us. And so we're thinking of that. But when it comes to choosing the type of media we're doing, like a lot of our stuff is going to be shorter now because it's tough to make a 10-minute commercial somebody's going to watch. Like, and I don't know how much of the analytics you look at, but we look at the analytics because I'm a number person, and so I'm looking at how far people are watching into the videos, and man, that viewer retention after 10 seconds is just like, and then you've got the real lifers that'll stay all the way to the 95% stuff, and it's just
that's the same that we're seeing.
Yeah.
You know?
So and that's it. So it's like, how much can I pack into that first 10 seconds? And it's always putting something interesting in that first 10 seconds. Maybe you're going to convince them to watch longer. So it's those things, and I think that the creators that are doing well on YouTube are kind of the best at that, because those guys, they've got that gimmicky title. They've got that thumbnail that's just perfect. Like, I want to watch until I figure out what that thumbnail is about, even if it's 6 minutes in. Like, they do all that. And so we're watching some of those people and trying to use some of their tactics and tricks to help get people to watch further into our videos and consume our content longer, just so they can get to kind of the meat and potatoes of what we're saying.
For all the platforms, I think YouTube is the one that has figured that out the most, how to grab somebody's attention, because there's so much competition on that, on a specific topic, right? So how can you move those into your other...
Well, and YouTube doesn't mess around, because it's like you're watching video and it's just like, all these thumbnails next to it. It's like, click on me, don't even finish that video, click on me next. And I'm like, man, we're trying to figure those pieces out. But it's good to know that you have all these things out there. And then non-digital media stuff, like actual typed out stuff. I mean, Christina on our team, she's a copywriter. I point to her, but she's not here today. She's sick. But she's a copywriter, and like her long form copy, it does well too. So if somebody out there wants to jump into doing digital media, they honestly don't even have to create media. If you're good with words and you can type something out, it works.
The biggest thing that I would say is you have to do what fits you the most, right? If you're a writer, everything works out there. It's just, you know, being consistent at what you're good at, what you like doing. You know, if you hate the sound of your voice and you're doing a podcast and oh my God, you know, don't do that.
That makes
sense.
sense.
I think it's better to be more consistent at not the shiny object. Like I think video's kind of shiny right now, but if you're great at long form typing out, you can create some valuable content for your audience and you're not going to burn yourself out.
Exactly, yeah. If you're doing something you don't like or something that you hate the sound of your voice and you're creating an audio podcast, no, stay away from that.
By the way, I still don't like the sound of my voice.
Me neither. Every time I get stuck editing my videos every now and then, I'm like, I actually put the headphones on so that nobody else has to hear it, because I'm like, if I don't like hearing myself, I know these people don't like hearing it. I'm like, let me get through this guy real fast. So yeah, we got to get over all those things. I tell my wife, I'm like, you should just replace me in all the videos. Prettier, your voice sounds nicer. I'm like, you should just do that. She still says no, though. All right, so types of media. That's it. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. Do whatever's easiest. And really, if you want to get into the longer form videos, the super high quality stuff, if you want to do a podcast, that's why this man's on here, because you've made a way to make it simple. I've seen how you do it with people. I've sent people to you, and every time they call me back, they're like, he made it easy. I'm like, so that's why we'll keep going those things. If you want a nice, easy solution and you want to see what it's like to step up into those slightly more complicated, slightly more professional, just awesome stuff, Jordan's here for you.
Hey, and for mortgages, there's
All right, so thanks for watching here on The Happy Homebuyer. Hopefully you learned something about the platforms, about the media, maybe even about the gear. But if you have any extra questions, that's what Jordan's here for. If you want to set up your own podcast, your own videos, whatever it is you want to do in the digital media space, Jordan and ListerPros, they can help you with that.
Yeah, reach out with any questions, and thanks for watching.
Perfect, and if you found any value in this stuff, make sure you share it over with one of your colleagues, and we'll talk to you soon. Perfect. All right, that's good.
Will that work?
That'll work.